Come.
Nuts. It's nice. Except I'm cut.
Yeah, good.
Okay, it's C&O Bicycle in Hancock, just in time. About 20 minutes to 5. They close at 5. Got my key to the bunkhouse. C&O Canal is right down there. And the entrance to the Western Maryland Rail Trail is right up there. Place to park my car. And the entrance into the bunkhouse area. So they gave me a code for the lock, and I've already opened it up. And there's the bunkhouse, where you can keep your bikes down there. I'm the only one here tonight, apparently. Don's John's. There's showers. And a little bit of a sink. Very rustic, but also very inexpensive. And all right, we're off on the adventure. As Bain would say, I'm Bill, and I'm on an adventure. Leaving C&O Bicycle, they obviously open up early. I'm getting a little bit of a late start, a little after 8. Okay, so we're gonna go on the trail here. 65 degrees, supposed to be a cool day. It's nice. Morning. Put my windbreaker on. I think I'm glad I did. So this is the highway that I heard all last night up in front of us here. It was not a real restful night, but early this morning, probably around 5 or so, trucks started running and I could hear them. And then I had a little visitor. First of all, around 3 o'clock or so, I heard like something running across the floor. Of course, that kind of woke me up. I have a little flashlight, and thank goodness I brought that. I had it next to me, next to my bunk, and it was a little possum. And how he got, or she got into the bunkhouse, I don't know. I mean, the screens aren't tight in the bottom, I noticed yesterday. But somehow he got in, and he couldn't figure out how to get out, I guess, because when I turned the flashlight on, he was hovering, as you can see, in the corner, just maybe 5 or 6 feet from the foot of my bunk. I just kept shining the flashlight on him, hoping he'd just go away. Eventually he did, so that was okay. Then back to sleep. And then the truck started. And we're close to a railroad, so trains went by. And I really should have used my blow-up pad. Would have been a little bit more comfortable. As it was, the pads that were on the bed were not that thick. Lesson learned. That's what this trip is all about. Kind of a shakedown, as it were. Although I hope that I've thought through most of the stuff. I'm only wearing my Chacos sandals. I didn't bring any other shoes. I didn't bring any slippers. But then when I changed my clothes, I didn't really want to stand on the bare floorboard. Not the cleanest place in the world, but they provide towels, and I guess the towels they're torn up towels. They're clean for you to use to clean off your bike if you've just come in from a rainstorm or through mud and stuff. So I took one of those towels and made a floor mat out of it. Worked out great. Well, there's a deer. Where there's one, there are 3. Morning. So I'm hoping that my formula of before works, that in Eco Power Assist Level 1, I can keep my speed up. I need to do that with a derailleur gear of 5 right now. Keep my speed up to 12 miles an hour. I'm hoping to get into Cumberland kind of mid-afternoon, 60 miles. And I'm starting out on the Western Maryland Railroad Trail. The trail itself starts east of Hancock, runs, I believe, about 26, 28 miles and parallels the canal. I can see the canal down there to my left, and goes those 26 or 28 miles past Hancock to Little Orleans on the canal, and that's where it ends. Then you have to go on the canal. So I figured if I can avoid mud, if there is any on the canal, as long as possible, I'm going to do that. So that's why I'm on this trail. It's nice and flat. It's paved. It's a nice trail. So this is very much like, except that it's paved, the High Bridge Trail that I went on a week or 2 ago. It's my test run of being able to do 60 miles. Morning. All right, this trail's was really through woods before. Now it's opened up. As you can see, there are cattle over there grazing, having their breakfast. And now it appears we're going back into wooded areas. It's far away from the canal right now, I believe, because there's a field off to my left. So it weaves around. Well, this is certainly one of the railroads that caused the canal to go defunct. It was a race to see whether canals or trains would be the carrier of goods to the east. Morning. At the Western Maryland Railway Trail was successful and the canal was not. It was for a while. It was built in 1828. I'll put down in the bottom of the screen when it ceased operating. It was in the 50s when Chief Justice Douglas of the Supreme Court led a group. He was quite a hiker apparently, and he led a large contingency of influential people on hikes on the canal, lobbying for it to become a national park, and he was successful. And it is a 184.5 mile long national park. And a treasure, really, quite a treasure. Okay, now we're back in wooded areas. 10 miles in, taking a break. Been pretty much staying with 12 miles an hour. And I think I've got about maybe 2 to 4 miles left of this trail before I have to go to the C&O Canal. Taking a water break and a protein bar break. My legs are feeling it, but we're going to push through. This trail is really very nice. It's secluded, that's for sure. And I've passed, I think, maybe 4 people, or rather, they've come from the other direction. But that's it. Thursday morning, so probably not a high use day. Okay, I'm going to enjoy my protein bar, and I'll catch up with you when we get to the C&O Canal. We're 13.5 miles in, and this is the end of the Western Maryland Rail Trail. This is the ramp down to the canal. The rest of the way to Cumberland will be on the C&O. So this is the canal. So the towpath. So the canal's over there to the right. You see there's no water in it. And certain sections do have water. Certain sections just have standing water that looks like got algae all over the top of it. But the towpath was where the mules pulled the barges along the canal boats along the canal. One person handled the mule. The other people were on the boat. Okay, so we are at milepost 138. Hancock is milepost 124, I believe. Well, that's about right. About 20 miles. Is that right? Something like that. I don't know. We'll do the math and put it down below. So 138, and Cumberland is 184.5. Still have 50 some miles to go. Around 50 miles to go. I think it's certainly different than the Western Maryland Trail, but it's nice. One thing I'm looking forward to is the Paw Paw Tunnel. So if I don't come on before that, I'll see you at the Paw Paw Tunnel. Well, that was short-lived. Looks as though we have some trees down here right across the trail. Let's see how we get through this. I'm not keen on picking my bike up, but I guess that's what I'm going to have to do. So let's just take a look in here and see what we got. I guess I can do it. I may have to take stuff off. Damn. This is not in the plan. Okay, we're gonna see if we can make it through here. Wow, what luck. The gentleman who's riding to DC just happened to come by and help me, or lift my bike over the tree. I still have to get out of this mess. There's all kinds of broken branches on the ground, but that was a big help and relief. I just taken my panniers off and was gonna empty the basket. Whoops. Got my foot caught down here. And he rolled up and was as surprised as I was. Wow. We're back in business. So here we go. Whew. That was a kind of scary situation. All right, here we go. Thank goodness for Good Samaritan. It'll take me a while to get through there as it is. Wait, where are we here? 10:08. So I lost 15 minutes or so. Let's hope that there are no more fallen trees between here and Cumberland. Those are the kind of things that happen, though, when you're on a trail like this. So, again, when we get to the Paw Paw Tunnel, unless there's something cool before that, I'll be back. Okay, we just passed the 148 mile post on the C&O Canal. This is quite different than the High Bridge Trail. This part of it is 2-track, and I keep switching back and forth between the left side and the right side. Kind of a pretty stretch of the trail. I'm not sure if the river is right over there or not, but for the most part, the canal goes right along the river, Potomac River. So I haven't been maintaining my 12 miles an hour, and I'm trying to get back to that. But I think I'm kind of on schedule. It's 11:23, and I've got 36 miles to go. We're going to be okay, I think. And my battery is at 71%. Started out at 97, and I've gone almost 25 miles. So that's pretty good. All right, everything's working as it's supposed to. All right, the trail has changed dramatically into a single track, really. We're heading towards the Pawpaw Tunnel. This little bit of trail ends up here, and there's a bridge, not a bridge, but a boardwalk. Okay. So after the Pawpaw, we'll take a break, have some lunch. It's now 12:13. All right, this will feel a little safer. When you think back that this was done in the early 1800s, mid 1800s, it is quite amazing the rock they cut through to make this canal. It really is something. And then to cut through the mountain to create this tunnel is yet another amazing thing. We'll go through here. I think this calls for flashlight coming towards us. Let's go on the other way. Choosing to follow the rules and walk my bike through. I'll put on the screen how long this tunnel is, I forget, and how many bricks. I think this is the one where they actually have a count of the bricks. It's all brick lined. Okay, we really can't see a whole lot. So all right, we're nearing the end. This is not an easy task. Other light out so I could see where I was stepping. Almost there. Whew. You can go up those steps and look over the top. Not going to do that today. I like this surface. This is like the High Bridge Trail, crushed gravel, better than those 2 tracks. I don't really like those. So I wonder if it's like this all the way into Cumberland. I might just stop up here at this picnic table. According to my calculations, I've gone 32.2 miles. My water, got my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, a banana, and a bar. Okay, we're a couple miles past the Pawpaw Tunnel. This part of the trail is very nice. A lot of leaves falling. I noticed that even back in Hancock. Maybe because of the hot weather we had, maybe some of the trees dried out and are dropping their leaves. It's nice and flat, easy to ride on. And I couldn't see the river for a while, but now as I look over, there's a kind of a gully between us, and then there's the river. Canal is to our right, and there's a bunch of logs in it. It's all dried up, of course. So this is what it looks like in this stretch of the trail. Turned out I was only hungry to eat one of my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. I made 2, ate my banana, drank some water, have 3 mandarin oranges for later, and another peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So save that for tomorrow, maybe. I'm rolling along. Very few people. There were some people back there at the tunnel who had come to a parking area and then walked up to the tunnel and went through it. But other than that, only seen one other cyclist in the tunnel. All right, an old lockkeeper's house at Lock 68. It's about mile 164 there, milepost 164, somewhere thereabouts. Okay, again, got to have at least one picture of a lockkeeper's house. Path continues to be this crushed stone and crushed gravel. It's really nice. The weather's been fantastic. It's chilly this morning, high 60s, but then it was pretty much stayed around low 70s and overcast. And now the sun is sort of shining. It's about 75, and I see clouds up ahead of me, but I don't think it's supposed to rain. Okay, well, here we have a milepost coming up here. Let me see. Milepost 165. Okay, this is a place that washed out, and you had to take your bike on that around to the right there. And they put this little bridge in, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I need to walk my bike. I guess there have been some freaky storms up here in the last week. Oh, all right. I mentioned when I was on that High Bridge Trail and recorded, come to think that I really prefer more urban trails than rural trails, unless like this one, it's for the purpose of a destination that I want to go to. I could go by car, but I choose to go by bike. And that's really my approach to cycling that I want to develop even more, using my bike to go on errands, seeing a video, or I had a video, I put a card to it up above. When I went grocery shopping with my towpath grocery cart that unfolds and you can take it to the store. So doing errands like that, going to doctor's appointments, that's the way I want to use my bike. One of the reasons I'm very interested in how active the city is pursuing improving the infrastructure for pedestrians and cyclists. Posted something like that on Facebook and got a little bit about, I think it was about the Canadian cyclists I follow, who was talking about a critical mass ride, showing that there are people that are riding bikes. And John down at the bike shop kind of does that that's one of his motivations for the Tuesday night ride, besides bringing business to the Trailhead restaurant. But I got the normal reactions, like, are you all paying gas taxes? Are you helping to pay for the roads? You don't know how many people are really going to use it? You know, all this BS argument against making cities better for everybody. Automobile drivers, pedestrians, bicyclists, mothers pushing strollers, whatever. Oh, there's I don't know, I don't think it's an eagle. It might have been whoa, I don't know. I'm not a bird guy. You may not be able to see it in the video, but it flew up here in a tree. There are eagles around here, I'm told. I don't see it. Okay, oh, here's is that a heron over there on the right? Yep, it's in flight. There you go. The other one was not a heron. I hope to do rides like this in September. I'm thinking of going up to the Philadelphia area and riding some of those trails. And that'll be to ride the trails, but I really like it when I'm riding my bike to accomplish something besides just exercise. I mean, it is a hobby, it is an interest, and it is a form of exercise. So check those boxes off, but it's also a way to get places rather than using a car, particularly when those places aren't very far away. Now here's a nice little stretch with actual cleanish looking water, not covered over with algae or overgrown with whatever those things were back there. I'll leave the camera running because this lock up here might have water. It might be a workable lock, I don't know. So let's get my speed up for this little hill. So I am pretty much staying around 12 miles an hour, creeping down to 10 sometimes. Another lock house, or lock keeper house, and a lock water in it. The barge would come in on the right, raise the water, and get it up to the level of that. Take it out. Evening, or I guess it's afternoon, right? Hi. We're about 4 miles out by my calculations, and we're starting to see houses and things. Just passed a bunch back there, like as though I was driving through their backyard. The canal's still to my right, the green glob, and the trail lies in front of me. So, this is our entry into Cumberland. So now it looks like now there's some houses. My calculations show that less than a mile left. Then I've got to find my hotel. The Cumberland Inn and Spa, recommended by several people. They have can't take a bike into your room, but they have a secure storage area for it. I don't fancy taking all this stuff off the bike, but I guess that's what I'll have to do to figure that out too for future trips when I can't take the bike into the room. My 60-mile calculation may not be exactly right, so we'll see. Afternoon. Canal bed is at least grassy and maintained, not full of funky water. I will say that my legs are tired after 60 miles or so, and they'll be glad to stop pedaling. I'll also be very glad to take a shower, and then I get to do it all over again tomorrow. Tomorrow's only, I think, 53 miles. All right, I think Cumberland is in sight. Whew! Didn't think this trail was ever going to end. Potomac River is a small vision of itself compared to Washington. You can see it up there on the left. That's the Potomac River. Cumberland is ahead of us. We've got another half mile before I make a turn for my hotel. And down to 16% on my battery, so tomorrow I'm gonna have to be conservative, maybe stop in Frostburg or someplace and charge my battery so I have enough for that last 10 miles into Somerset. I think it's a bit hilly. This is where we go in, I guess. Oh, there's an old barge. That's pretty cool. Huh. Where the C&O Canal Trail ends. Okay, this is, so right here is the big circle. That's where the C&O Canal ends. And I'm turning on, I keep going straight here.